On the edge of a quiet village stood a grand mansion. Its tall white walls and shining glass windows reflected the golden rays of the sun. From the outside, it looked like a dream, a place where happiness should live forever. Yet inside, the air was heavy, filled not with laughter but with silence. It was not the silence of peace, but the silence of sorrow. The master of this mansion was Nikolai, a wealthy businessman. He owned vast lands, successful companies, cars, and every luxury one could imagine. But all this wealth could not heal the emptiness in his heart. That emptiness was bound to his two beloved children, his twins. Their names were Alexei and Anna. They were born with a gift and a trial at the same time. From their very first breath, their eyes had known only darkness. Doctors told Nikolai the truth. Your children will never see the world. They will never know light. Their eyes cannot be healed. This is something beyond medicine. Nikolai refused to give up. He brought doctors from faraway countries, paid enormous amounts of money, and searched for any cure. But each time the answer was the same. Impossible. And so the mansion, though full of riches, became a house of quiet sadness. The children's world. Alexei and Anna grew up in this world of darkness. Yet they found their own ways of joy. Anna loved to touch soft fabrics, to feel the gentle warmth of sunlight on her skin, and to listen to the songs of birds in the garden. Alexei liked to hear the echo of footsteps, the rhythm of his father's shoes walking across the hall, and the sound of rain against the windows. For them, light was only an idea. It was something they heard about in fairy tales told by nurses and maids. They imagined it, but could never truly know it. Among the many workers of the mansion, there was one woman who held a special place in their hearts, Maria. She was the cleaner. Her hands were rough from years of work, her face lined with wrinkles of age and struggle. But her heart was filled with warmth, and her eyes carried the kindness of a mother. Whenever Maria came near, the twins would smile. She spoke to them gently, told them simple stories, and sometimes sat in silence, holding their small hands in hers. To the children, she was not just a servant. She was light itself. A father's burden. At night, Nikolai often sat alone in his study. He stared at the flickering fire and thought about his life. He had money, power, and respect, but all of it felt empty when he looked at his children. He asked himself again and again, why them? Why this fate? He tried to give them happiness. He filled their rooms with the most expensive toys, soft carpets, golden lamps. But deep inside he knew, none of these things could replace what they had lost. And what hurt him most was that they did not even know what they were missing. They had never seen a rainbow, or a star, or even his face. Maria's gentle love. Maria watched this sadness silently. She saw Nikolai's frustration, and she saw the innocence of the twins. She believed something with all her heart, that prayer and love could touch where medicine could not. One afternoon, Anna asked her a question. Maria, what is light? Can you tell me? Maria paused for a long moment. Then she spoke softly. Light is like the singing of birds at dawn. It is like the touch of a mother's hand. It is like peace that fills your heart when the world is quiet. Anna thought for a moment, then whispered. Then we can feel light in our hearts, can't we? Tears filled Maria's eyes. She stroked the girl's hair and nodded. Yes, my dear. The light is already inside you. A gentle twist. One day, Nikolai decided to try one last time. He took his children to a famous clinic in the city. The best doctors examined them, performed tests, and once again said the same words. There is no cure. Nothing can be done. That evening, Nikolai returned home defeated. He sat in his room, weary and broken. Maria entered quietly. She stood for a moment, then gathered her courage. Sir, she said softly, sometimes miracles do not come from medicine. Sometimes they come from love. Nikolai looked at her sharply. His voice was bitter. Love. Do you think love will open their eyes? Do you think the world works like that? Maria did not move. She replied calmly, I believe with all my heart that when we pray with truth, doors can open. You can buy everything with wealth, sir. But you cannot buy the moment when God decides to answer a prayer. Nikolai turned away. He had no words. Prayer and hope. That night, Maria went outside into the garden. The sky was dark and filled with stars. She raised her hands and whispered a long prayer. God, these children are innocent. They deserve to see the beauty you created. If there is a way, please, grant them light. Days passed. The children continued their games in the dark halls. But something began to change. One morning, Anna suddenly grasped Maria's hand. Maria, I feel something. It's like the room is brighter somehow. Like something is different. Alexei added quickly, yes, I feel less darkness, like a shadow has moved away. At first, everyone thought it was just imagination. But then, slowly, in the eyes of the twins, a faint spark began to appear. A shimmer that had never been there before. They began to notice shapes, movements, the outline of their toys. Nikolai rushed to call the doctors again. They examined the children, and this time, their voices trembled with shock. This should not be possible. Their vision is returning. It is a miracle. The moment of light. The day came when Anna saw her first sunrise. She looked at Maria's face, and her eyes filled with tears. Maria, you're so beautiful, she cried, holding her tightly. Alexei ran to his father, staring at him as if in wonder. Papa, you look exactly like I imagined. Nikolai could not hold back his tears. He wrapped both children in his arms. For the first time in years, he felt his heart whole again. He understood now what Maria had meant. Love and prayer had brought them what money never could. A peaceful ending. From that day, the mansion changed. No longer was it silent and heavy with sorrow. The halls rang with laughter. The garden echoed with the sound of children running, pointing, and marveling at every color they saw. Nikolai often looked at Maria with deep gratitude. One evening, he knelt before her and said, I had all the treasures of the world, but you gave me the greatest gift, hope. Maria shook her head gently. No, sir, it was not me. It was God's mercy. I was only a servant, only a witness. And so the mansion, once filled with shadows, now glowed with light, not just the light of the sun, but the light of love, faith, and a miracle that changed every heart inside.